everyone, Paulo P13 here, and welcome to today's video. Well, today we are talking a bit about the mode Alliance War. It has been out for a little bit now, and I have completed 2 wars, and now I feel a little comfortable to give a bit more information and just some general overview, my thoughts, how the wars have went for us, and some minor details that I would like to say, just some tips. Don't want to get too specific, just a lot of general, but just a good overview of my experience and my thoughts and my feelings about this mode, and how the things went and my reaction to that. Alright, so let's get started. First off, general answer. What do I think of the mode? I love it. This is my favorite mode. It makes me really happy to play. I love theory crafting. I love coming up with plans. I love thinking things through. And it's just a dream come true for me for that. And so glad it's in the game. So that is just a general overview of the mode. Let's let it load up here. I keep forgetting that this actually has a loading screen in between them. But anyways, let's talk through it. But yeah, I really, really enjoy this mode. I've loved playing it. It's an absolute blast when it's on. I wish it could be on all the time, but also that would probably be a little too much, so I understand why it's, 3 times a week. Once this loads up, a very important point I want to talk about will be the Alliance War store. I'm going to cover that a bit, so let's get to that right here. First off, you can see I already purchased Carnage. Thanks to this Alliance Wars, I'm about to get my Carnage to 5 stars, and that is amazing. Leaves me down to just Green Goblin for Shuri, and I can mass farm Green Goblin. And I think I'm going to be able to get Shuri first time around, so you guys are going to get some good content for that pretty quick. And I'm really excited for that. Haven't been able to unlock a legendary character on the first time around yet. So this is my first time. I'm super excited. I did admittedly spend on Carnage when he first came out. I was saving up for him. So I did technically spend for this, but I think this would have actually been doable without any purchases. I did eventually unlock Magneto without any purchases, but that one took till the second time it came around and a lot of campaign events. So, I think just recapping based on seeing Carnage here, I think this was actually pretty generous making Shuri a Spider-Verse unlock, even if it was a bit unexpected. But anyways, this store is incredible. Just the character shards. Yeah, Hydra Sniper's pretty useless. Nobu's pretty good. He's hard to farm. There's a lot of hard to get characters that you can get quite easily from here pretty rapidly. If you win a war, you get 2,000 of these, what are they called? Click that, war credits. These are, the other ones I think are elite war credits. Anyways, but these war credits, you get 2,000 for winning, 5 for each opponent, 10 for each opponent you take out. I'm not sure, I think it's 5 for each. It's 5 points. Okay, no, it should be 50. You get 50 credits for each battle you win. So if you do 8 battles, you got 400 credits for that. And then you win, you get 2,400 war credits. And you're really got a lot of points there. I tend to do about 9 battles because I buy some extra charges from the Blitz. I think I did 10 battles this time. Anyways, you really have a good chance to really get a lot of these war credits. So each war so far I've been able to get about 2 Carnage purchases, and I'm just short of getting another one. As you can see, they're like 45 credits short of another Carnage purchase, but I'm already at 120 out of 130, so I'm gonna definitely be able to get Carnage to 5 stars really soon. Really excited. There's also Pyro, I think Cable. There's some good characters in here, hard to farm, and just an added way of farming characters is always great. But more than that, you've got some really good things down in the store, and it's all random. It's not overly consistent, so you can get the prices vary based on what the product is. It's very unique, a lot of thought to go through. Really would take a lot of thought to go through all of this. I wonder if anyone's actually compiled all of the possible resources to get in here, because a lot of things change every refresh. But these improved unstable molecules, they can be a pain to farm. And 600 of these credits for 10 of them, that's amazing. What else is there? These advanced arcane powder, that can be hard sometimes. But these gold materials, that's amazing. Superior charged particles. If I wasn't mass blitzing Carnage and Green Goblin to get Shuri, I would definitely be investing in some of these so I can start getting characters to gear tier 13. The store is wonderful. I find the prices pretty reasonable. It's really going to help people grow really fast. Let's click this orbs here. Now, when you win, you get 500 of these, what are they, Elite War credits. Let's see if you can, okay, I'm going to click that. One thing is there's a lot of loading screens, a lot of loading time for this mode. That is one thing I would fix. But again, I'm loving this mode, and it hasn't slowed down the game as much as I thought it would. I mean, it has, but it's getting better. Let's see. Yeah, Elite War credits. You get 500 each war. So you have your choices depending on where you are. You can get 2 of the blue gear war orbs, 1 of the purple gear war orbs, or every other alliance war you can get an orange gear war orb. And that's what I'm electing to do because I really want to get my characters to gear tier 13. Let's see if we can click this. So I can eventually enter Fear of the Darkness and get Ultron. But on the left, this is left, yeah, left pillar, you click it, you guarantees one of the following, and these are all pretty useful. This one here is for Minerva, which is amazing. This should be Uru right here, which I need for Loki, Palladium, which I need for Rocket and Thanos. So there's a lot of important things that you can get on the left, and that's really amazing. I know the odds are not the greatest for those, but all of these are very useful. In the Superior Focus Catalyst, you need a lot of those. The center, I believe you can get 3 of them. You can get 3 of any of these items. If you get crazy, crazy luck, which just isn't likely to happen, but let's say you get, that's Palladium. Where's Uru? Here's Uru. I need 11 more of these. So, it's a 5.26% chance for 3 in the center. Here's Uru. 0.3% chance here, and a 0.3% chance on the right, which is not going to happen, but you at least have a chance to get these unique items all the time, and you can just keep working towards getting your characters to gear tier 13, so it is a legitimate possibility without just crazy luck in the store or massively wailing out to get these, that you can at any level start farming orange gear just by being a little patient and getting these orbs. And I think that's incredible, and I'm super ecstatic about that. I can't wait to get my top characters to that level where I can actually be using them on Fear the Darkness. Get Minerva there, Rocket there, Loki, Thanos, I believe the last one, Star-Lord. There we go, Star-Lord. That's the team of 5 I'm hoping to get there because they're all pretty strong, and I believe they'll all be effective on that mode. But eventually being able to unlock Ultron. This mode is how you're going to be able to, how a lot of people are going to be able to get to Ultron. And I'm super ecstatic about that. But I love this mode. I think the rewards are fair. Again, because the War Store is so amazing. The gold is probably a little low. The leaderboard, I mean, one thing I want to be able to see where my team is actually ranked overall. We're at 7,591. We've won both of our wars by a lot, but this the war season leaderboard I think is incredible, because if you do all right, I have no idea where my alliance will place in this again because I don't know where we are on the leaderboards, but the raid season lasts 2 weeks I think, and you get this. I believe it's the exact same rewards based on positioning. So let's say you are a top 50% alliance, because that's what I see here. Every 2 weeks you're getting 60 of these orange gear mats. That means in order to upgrade, what is it? You need a 200 for the passive or something like that. So 60, 120. It takes three sets of 2 weeks, so a month and a half to be 20 short, and you still don't have enough, and it takes you forever. And you just, then you feel like you don't want to spend any to upgrade your characters because it takes so long. Well, now every week you get 60 from this, so you get 60. So over a 2 week span, you get 120 from here and 60 from raid season. So that's 180. So what used to take, well, what did I say? 6 weeks. Yeah, what used to take 6 weeks, you now get in 2 weeks. This has cut all of the you've tripled the amount of time or tripled the amount of orange mats that you're getting. And I think that's incredible. And that's really great for the game and really great for the players. It's a huge boost. Now, what do I think of the actual mode? First off, one thing I want to point out, you can move this camera around, and I think that's really entertaining. If you're bored and you're just waiting for something to happen, you can do that. What do I think of this mode? What is this mode? Well, you really, really need to communicate so that you guys can make good plans, and then you have to go against the other alliance, and you can really determine how active you're being and how well you're communicating. Anyways, that pretty much covers the general overview of this. I'm going to now show you the results of my first Alliance War and talk a bit about what happened there. And then I'll show you the result of the second one and tell you a little bit of what happened there, just so you guys can get my experience and I can tell you roughly how I feel about certain strategies and stuff like that. So let's carry on with that right now. Okay, so here we have the result screen that you get after the war ends from the first war, and you can see we won 1,080 to 390. It was a landslide. Huge shout out to Don Rubix here for taking home the MVP. We got about 3,719 leaderboard points. Really awesome. It was so exciting. We had a lot of communication, a lot of activity. It was great. So what happened here is basically they took down one room, maybe two rooms, and they did that at the very end. They would attack just with no direction, sporadically, a little bit of every room, and they were not making a dent, and they didn't get anywhere past our front line of defense because they didn't coordinate their attacks, and they were just spread out. And we coordinated our attacks, and we got right to where we wanted, and we took down the bridge pretty early on. And from there, we just we went to room by room, and we just judged with what we had around. I don't want to give too much away of what we were doing so people can plan against it, but I will say that the best strategy that we learned was we have to stay together and pick what we're doing and then all do the same thing, because they went very spread out and they basically didn't make a dent, and we managed to stay together, and we took down their bridge where they put it, and we had gotten to such an early jump. Right after the bridge, we got the reactor. I think we took down the med bay. We ended up taking down a lot of their rooms, and they basically kind of just gave up and stopped attacking because I think we were up 800 to 180 or something. So they did eventually finish off a couple of flight decks and come back a little bit, but it was a landslide, and we realized we weren't going to lose, so we kind of stopped pushing near the end of it. But that really does make it clear you need to communicate in this and try and keep your teams together, and they just didn't do that. They didn't have enough communication, and that really hurt them. So we came away victorious there. Was really, really happy. We were really excited. And so then how did the second one go? Well, here's the second one. We won again, 1,195 to 696. We actually did send a little scout out to try and find the other alliances to check where they were ranked. Both of these alliances, I believe, were ranked higher than us and had a higher total collection power, but we did win quite significantly over both of them. This one was a very different fight, and you can see I took home the MVP. I don't necessarily think I deserve it, but anyways, I did, so congratulations me. We did really good on defense this time, but at the beginning of this one, we were definitely being outpaced because the strategy that we use, it's actually a bit more of a long-term strategy. It's not to get out to a huge lead. It's more to build it up so that you are going to be able to solidly just keep progressing, and at the end we'll come up with a really good result. So a couple of people were nervous a little early on because I think they had a 400 to 200 point lead, and then we took out the bridge, and then we took out the reactor, and we started really taking down their places. And they were kind of going a scorched earth plan, which was they would get to the flight deck, they would take down the full flight deck before moving on. but I think they did Flight Deck 1, then Flight Deck 2, then they took out, well, they picked one room from that, and next, and they just attacked that full room, and they moved on. They eventually, they cleared a lot. They got to the med bay. They took one attack of the med bay, then they changed their minds, and they went to a different room. I think they attacked our security. They eventually did take down our reactor, so they did get some good points. But they found our reactor, and they took that down. So they did make a bit of a comeback. But their strategy, they clearly had a very specific strategy, and I can confirm this did not work for them. They put very, very high-powered defenses throughout all of their flight decks, and the further back you went in their rooms, the less and less protection they had. So they were just kind of hoping that we would get caught up in all their flight decks or the first row and just never move on. But once we found their bridge was unprotected, and their reactor was unprotected. They were all just shield teams, and they held all the people from their back row back to use for attack. And I will tell you this, don't do that. It's not going to work out for you, because if you just don't protect it at all, if we could just casually, we might be planning on taking down the first room, but if we just casually take a look and see that a very high scoring room has no defense, why are we going to bother to keep attacking 200,000 power teams while you're trying to use all your teams on attack? So something we did learn from this, you need to find a balance. And I think that's a very important point to take away from this, but we did win both of them. There's a little glitch here on the leaderboard points. I'm not really sure why. We got about the same amount of points as last time, so 3,700 or something like that. I think actually 3,800, but it shows 1,195 points. Anyways, it was a lot of fun. Shout out to my alliance. You all did a great job, and we really enjoyed this. So that's what happened with these individual wars. Defensively, I guard the bridge. I'm not telling you exactly where I put the bridge. There's a video that shows where it could be, but we may have moved it. I don't want to give too much in case people do start fighting us, and they'll adjust their plans so that they can take us down. But anyways, we do have a set plan, and it's pretty consistent. I actually made a very long series of plans for offense, and a lot of thought went into it. But where our bridge was, I'm in charge of protecting it, and I will admit I put a lot of people on defense, and a lot of people were concerned, like, hey, are you going to have enough to attack? So far through these two battles, or these two wars, I haven't been attacked once with my defense. My defenses have not been attacked. No one has taken down a single one of my teams. No one's attacked a single one of them. So it is kind of sad seeing a lot of that many good characters just not actually do anything for an entire war. However, I have been doing 8 to 10 attacks in both of these, and I have not lost a single battle, and I have taken down some big teams. So I clearly have enough still left over that I am able to take down these teams. So I'm not feeling any negative effects from the defense I put there with my current roster. I do intend to show you some attacks in the near future. Just been really busy, so this is more of a recap. And but with my roster, I was able to keep that many troops back. You can check out those teams in another video, my Alliance War defenses video, or whatever I called it. But I've been fine, and I've been doing attacks. As you can see here, I was the MVP, so I did a lot of attacks, and I still had like my full defenders team. I had Thanos and Gamora. I still had a lot left over on this one, so I haven't had much of an issue, but that's because I really prioritized building a wide roster. So anyways, that's how these two wars have gone. So I'm gonna now I'm just gonna talk a bit about some general ideas of what can really help you guys in war going forward, and what you can really work on. Tony Bing did a video on this, on something similar, basically his top 10 tips for dominating Alliance Wars, and I think the 10th one was subscribe to his channel, which is a good idea. You should go subscribe to his channel. You could also subscribe to mine. That would be pretty nice. You could do that now. But anyways, I'm going to try and do some different thoughts than Tony Bing did. So if you're interested in his, you should go check that out. Highly recommend it. But anyways, I have some different thoughts of what you can really use to help you grow. First thing I'm going to talk about is the Blitz store. You can get these War Energy refills here. and you can get the defense boost here. I have not actually purchased any defense boosts. I did get a war energy refill because I wanted to do a couple other attacks. And honestly, they're a good value. You get 50 war credits for taking out a team. It takes 2 of these purchases, so it's about 750 blitz credits for 50. I think I said 50 war credits, which doesn't seem that great, but you get a lot of blitz credits throughout the week, so it's not a very expensive purchase. So I suggest getting these every once in a while and just kind of stockpiling them and using them when you can. Defense boosts, that's up to you guys. Some people find them very useful. I haven't actually attacked anyone that had a defense boost on them, so I haven't really been able to. I couldn't tell you how they work, or like if they really make the room that much better. That's more up to you guys to decide. Anyways, but I do recommend getting these war energy refills. But on the topic of Blitz, Blitz is going to be the area that helps you the most in Alliance Wars. That seems really weird, but in Blitz, you can get familiar with your entire roster, and that is hugely important because then you really know how all your characters work. And when you get a feel for your characters, you can determine what teams you can beat with them. Not just with your top teams, but all your bottom teams and the individual characters, test out some things, really learn your characters, learn your teams, test things out, get comfortable and blitz a lot, and you will really, really be helped in Alliance Wars. So that's my first tip. My second tip, just build a wide roster. You can see I have a large roster. I have a lot of characters leveled to certain points, and some characters I probably shouldn't. I have a very small bottom of my roster. Like, yeah, I shouldn't use, let's see, there's 6. I've actually used Hand Archer against a basic shield team, so I guess that's 10 characters that have like 0 use in Alliance Wars out of my entire roster. The rest I can use. Yeah, sure, Ravager Stitcher I can probably level up more, Handblade Master, but Boomer held his own, Mercenary Sniper. And once you get to a certain point, a lot of these characters can actually just solo default shield teams. And my instinct is we're going to be seeing a lot of them unless you're on the very top alliances. So that's a huge thing. But really just level up as many characters as possible up to certain points. They don't all have to be your top characters, but just get them ready to be used if needed. Hey, I have enough shards to rank up my Mantis. Sorry, got distracted. But yes, build up your whole roster, build it wide. Don't rely everything in the game off of 1 or 2 characters. Yeah, I know I have a very high Rocket and Star-Lord, but I don't have like a drop-off from the 50,000 I do, okay? But 40,000, then it just kind of goes down a little bit by character by character. We're at the 30s. You don't see big drop-offs. Just build up your characters, kind of keep it where you have a progression. Admittedly, my progression isn't my best characters are all at the top, like Captain Marvel is an amazing character, but she's all the way down here. Just started working my Carnage up a little bit because Blue, he's a low gear tier for his strength, so I wanted to work on him a bit. But, find uses for them, build teams, really just study. Study your roster. Blitz is a good way to do that again, but build it all up. You can see I'm a lot of characters that it's just a big increasing line. It's not a big fall off. Don't let a fall off happen in your roster where you go from 30,000 to 5,000 and then you can't contribute anymore. Make sure there's always a little bit of stuff that you can keep throwing at it. You don't have to have every one of your teams ready to take down the big teams, but just be ready to do something with all of your characters, or as many as you can. I know resources are tight, but it's a very important step, and that is my second main tip for Alliance Wars. Okay, my third tip here, I'm going to quickly show a bit of our Discord. I'm not going to go too much because I don't want to give away too many things, but communication is huge in this mode. So my third tip, basically communicate. Find a method, find a place to communicate, and just talk it out. Keep people together, keep people knowing what's going to happen, and that's going to really go a long way because if you communicate, you're really going to make a huge difference on alliances that don't, because it's just day and night difference in how successful you are if you have a plan. That's not what I meant to hit. Okay, there we go. But seriously though, make a plan, communicate it with each other, and stick to the plan. Even a bad plan, if everyone sticks to the bad plan, unless it's literally whatever you do, don't attack the same room as each other. Try and spread out as much as possible and don't finish any rooms. Even a bad plan is better than no plan. So get a plan, stick to it, and just communicate it with each other and work together. That is huge. If you want to be successful in Alliance Wars, you are very unlikely to be able to do that without talking to each other. If you really want to do it in this chat here, like in the in-game chat, that's fine. It's a lot harder, but I have done it a few times. I've sent a message in-game chat as well as in the Discord just to make sure everyone catches it. But that is a huge thing to do. Something I can't show you right now because I'm not in the middle of a war, but there is a target button in Alliance War where if you're attacking something, you can click something on like the right side of each individual person, and that will kind of highlight the room red. I highly recommend using that as well if you're targeting a specific place. It's a good way to communicate it, but you should probably tell your alliance. I'm realizing I've been doing this, but I haven't mentioned it to my alliance, so I fell a little short on my communication here. But anyways, it hasn't come back to bite me in the butt yet, so that's a good thing. But communicate, communicate, communicate. Another important thing to discuss. So that was my third tip, I believe. So now I'm going to talk about my fourth tip. It's a very important one. But my fourth tip here is participate. Get some participation. Just be involved. It makes a huge difference. If you participate a lot and the enemy alliance barely participates, you're likely to beat them, no matter of the collection power. So I've mentioned blitz a lot. Get familiar with your roster and build it up so that everyone's usable. Communicate, communicate, communicate. Now participate. It's massive. And step 5 is very similar to 3 and 4, or tip 5, whatever. Work together. You're in a group of people. If you want to succeed, you have to work together. It's a group. Build a camaraderie with those people around you and just really focus on that and work together, attack the same places, and it's a huge difference, and you can see where an alliance is tight and where an alliance is weaker on their communication and their teamwork, because it really shows here. Like, an alliance without communication can do really well in raids, just if everyone's strong enough and does their own thing, but you can't really do that in Alliance Wars. So that is my 5th tip, is work together. Now, 6th tip, have a little bit of personality. Don't let your alliance fall into a typical pattern. Like, don't have everyone in your alliance run the exact same defenses in the same positions. Like, if you want to try and be a little tricky, you can do that, but not everyone in your alliance should do the same thing. Have personality, and reflect it in your defenses and how you plan it. It really gives you a chance to express yourself, and that's amazing. So that's an important thing. What's that, my 6th tip? So tip 6, have some personality and creativity, and it can go a long way. There's a lot more to discuss about this mode, but this video has probably already gone on way too long. But I have really enjoyed this mode. I hope you guys have as well. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it was a little bit helpful and helped you guys think things through. If it did, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because there's going to be more coming. I have a lot to say about this mode. I really can't stop talking about it. I've actually annoyed my girlfriend with it, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And leave a like. Make sure you share this video if you think it will help anybody or your alliances. And if you want to talk to me about it, feel free to leave some comments in the comments section down below. Or you can join my Discord, which will be a link to that in my video description. And you can talk to me there. Much easier about this game mode, or really anything about the game. Or anything about anything, really. I'm pretty open. So you can do that there. There's going to be 2 other links in the video description, one for a Patreon and one for a Tippy. If you're interested in supporting the channel, it really does make a big difference. Anyways, I hope this was helpful, and as always, I'm here to help.